I'm Phil Jones and I'm the Managing Director of Wired Sussex. So Wired Sussex is a membership organisation for companies and freelancers in the digital media and technology sectors, right across Sussex, as the name suggests. We're based in Brighton, as are many of our members. The Fusebox is a creative space in Brighton that we run. It's a studio where we support businesses, startups and freelancers to be better at what they do. The thinking behind the Fusebox came out of some research that we undertook with the universities of Sussex and Brighton called the Brighton Fuse. And what that told us was the best most impactful businesses in our sector in Brighton were those that took learnings from the creative sector, from the arts, and married that very effectively with technology. They weren't pure creative or pure tech businesses. They were businesses that brought them together into the DNA of what they did and what they created and what they sold. And that's the model behind the Fusebox. So it brings learnings from the arts with learnings from technology and technology startups in order to support our cluster in the way that's most effective for it. So Wired Sussex supports small businesses in a large number of ways. We help them network together, which is really important, so they can share expertise, knowledge, and sector information. We help them access people, talent, which is the core of our industry, through our jobs board, but through all the other services that we provide to help people find and upskill talented individuals. We help them access finance, we help them access clients, and we lobby on their behalf. So we recognise that some things are outside of our ability to deliver, but the government or other public bodies can deliver it. And so by bringing all our members together and representing them, we can move things forward for our sector as a whole. Brighton is special and Brighton is different. It always has attracted people who want to try new things and want to do things differently. And you can say that even from the perspective of the pavilion, this symbol, I suppose, of things happening in this city that couldn't happen in the Royal Court in London onwards, it's always been a place where people are attracted to doing things differently. When I first came to this job, someone said to me, Brighton, there's no idea too crazy that people won't take it seriously. And I think he meant that as a criticism, but actually I take that as something very, very positive about the city. This is the city where someone said, what we need is ethical cosmetics and created the Body Shop. This is the city where someone said, we can turn people banging drums on the street into a worldwide phenomenon and created Stomp. And this is the city where some really great and interesting and left field ideas gain traction and support. And that's what's great about the city. Particularly in our sector, in the digital media and tech sector, the main advice that I would give someone who wants to start a business is just get on and do it. Barriers to entry in our sector aren't high. You can actually start with a bedroom, a laptop and a mate. Those are probably the things that you need to start a business. That's kind of crucial, really, because in our sector, you learn by doing stuff and exposing it to your audience or your customer or your client and getting feedback and creating a better product or a better service. So that very fast, very iterative approach is key, I think, to how the best ideas in our sector work. Of course, what you need around that is some support. You need people who will kind of advise you about how to access customers, will make sure that you understand the legal obligations and the financial obligations around starting a small business. But you can, in our sector, more than almost anywhere else, learn by doing. I think what we've seen in Brighton is the absolute mushrooming of the creative and digital sector. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it barely existed. And then it was a bunch of people with laptops on the beach. That common stereotype was actually the truth 10 years ago. But now we've got companies like Brandwatch, iCrossing, PropellerNet, Crunch, Disney, all based here. We've seen companies grow from being we can do anything that you want us to do type companies. You want an app, we'll make an app. You want a website, we'll make a website. To really understanding what is special about what they do best, and focusing on that. And I think that has been a significant change in the way that businesses and creative businesses in Brighton have grown over the past 10 years. Now the sector contributes nearly £750 million a year to Brighton's economy. That's virtually on a par with the visitor economy, with tourism. And given that tourism has been around for 100 years and our cluster has been around for 10, that's a fantastic growth spurt, really fantastic. If you're looking to start a business, then there are a number of ways that you can be supported nationally and regionally here in Brighton. Probably the most important one is through the local enterprise partnership, Coast to Capital, and they run a business navigator scheme which brings together a lot of the advice and information which is in lots of different business organisations in one place, so they can advise and direct you. But if you're looking to trade overseas, for instance, and many digital businesses see the world as their market, then UKTI can help you, and they're very useful. If you're looking to create a new product or service that you think is very innovative, then Innovate UK has funding streams to support that. There are a number of ways that you can find that. If you're a member of Wired Sussex, what we do is we bring all those things together into a regular newsletter on funding opportunities and business support opportunities, which you'll get as a consequence of being a member.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest news and advice for freelancers, contractors and small businesses.